Radio buttons present multiple choices, though you can only select one of the items. Here's the HTML code for the radio button page. Radio buttons are input tags of the type radio. They are part of a group named flavor. The value item is sent when the form is submitted. Here, its text matches the flavor selected. The form uses the get method and this action file name. The action file processes the request. If the form data is available, this chunk of code is executed and the flavor value selected output. If not, this statement outputs a message. This form has two sets of radio buttons, each with a different name, OS and nerd. The nerd values are set to 1 and 0 for yes and no, which translate into true and false. This PHP code processes the form with two sets of radio buttons. First, this part of the code is executed when form data is available. Otherwise, this part outputs a warning message. After the OS preference is fetched and output, an if-else decision is made on the value of the nerd item, true or false. Here's the HTML page, and I like Linux, and yes, I am a nerd. Here's the processed output, sourcing from two sets or families of radio buttons. Checkboxes are handled differently from radio buttons because each one can be on or off. So instead of a single item passed, the data submitted works more like an array. Here's the HTML. The input type is checkbox. The name is toppings, but it's written like an array. These brackets are important for processing. The value setting reveals the choices made. This code processes the choices. Toppings in the get superglobal is an array, so variable toppings is an array. This statement works only when you specify the brackets as shown earlier. A for each loop then processes and outputs each of the toppings. Notice anything ugly about this output? Yes, the toppings are just spewed out as text, one after the other. You can do better. Your challenge is to update the code so that the output looks like this. A plus sign separates each of the items. You don't see a leading or trailing plus sign. Creating this output is more of a programming challenge than a skill for manipulating form data. Still, it's something you can do. If you use the HTML code from the checkbox exercise file, remember to update the action item in the form tag. You can check your solution with mine after you complete the challenge.